Markus, it is such a pleasure having you with us today. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much for having me, Martin. It's a great pleasure.
Well, let's jump right in. Let me kick off with the very first question. How would you say can people future-proof or reskill to stay relevant in the workplace, especially given the current circumstances that we're facing?
I think that's a very critical question, Martin. And I think the world is changing around us more rapidly than ever before. Technology and automation have a profound impact on work, and the half-life of skills is diminishing quickly. So I think as we think about reskilling, I think about 4 steps. Step 1 is looking into the mirror and really understanding the skills one has. Step 2 is around understanding the skills one may need in the future for the jobs they aim for. Step 3 is around understanding the gap between the skills one has and the skill one needs in the future. And then step 4, I think it's most critical, is then taking ownership to acquire these skills, to remain employable, and land the jobs one aims for. So I think it sounds simple, but it's way harder in reality, especially step 1 and being honest with yourself about the skills you really have and master.
And I guess even step 2, figuring out what the skills of the future will be, is probably going to be a bit challenging as well. I completely agree with you. Markus, you work for Novartis, and actually in Canada, Novartis just was named one of the top 50 places to work. How would you say can a company foster a work environment and a culture that brings out the best in people to fulfill the company's purpose?
Yeah, I think you mentioned a key aspect, Martin, purpose. I think it's critical that a company is really clear about its purpose, and the people understand the purpose and fully buy into it. At Novartis, it's all about reimagining medicine for patients. The company is really deeply committed to researching, developing, making and selling medicines that extend patients' lives to the benefit of the patients, but also having a profound impact on the beloved ones. So think of patients with serious diseases such as like cancer, multiple sclerosis all around the world. And you may also have had a family member who suffered or is suffering from a serious disease. And you know how critical medicine can be to the quality of life. So I think innovating these breakthrough therapies to cure cancer is what gets the best out of people at Novartis, so that they can make these contributions to their teams, the company, patients, and society overall. We see all-time highs in employee engagement in our company, as people are really committed and inspired by the contributions that they can make. And personally, I think as a father, to give you one example, I'm really touched when I hear stories of parents who share how new medicines saved the lives of their beloved ones. So I think this is what drives people in many organizations, especially in healthcare companies such as Novartis.
And I think all of us support you and Novartis in this quest in reducing suffering in the world, that for sure. Let me link back to some extent to the first question, because you spoke about reskilling and obviously figuring out what are the skills that will be needed. And actually my next question relates to that. What are some of the new professions and trends you see emerging as part of the new economy, generated by the current challenges and opportunities introduced by the worldwide pandemic?
Yeah, I think the digital revolution has started many years ago. And I think COVID-19 has accelerated these trends in many industries, including healthcare. Microsoft CEO Nadella said, "We see 2 years of digital transformation in 2 months." So I see many jobs being created and filled in the space of digital and data, including digital marketeers, omnichannel management specialists, data scientists, data engineers. So I think this is clearly a field where we see a lot of growth and new job creation. And I think we also see clear trends when it comes to soft skills. Analytical thinking, active learning, complex problem solving, creativity, leadership, and resilience. Especially, I think resilience and mental health has become more critical in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
So let's stay a little bit on the pandemic. Obviously, the pandemic has shifted very much as well how we work and how we interact with colleagues. How does Novartis balance the increase in blended models of remote and on-site work with team communication and the role of managers? Any pointers, any recommendations?
Well, Novartis looked into new working models after listening carefully to the associates and understanding their needs. And I think Novartis now offers many associates the choice to decide how, when, and where to work so that they can have the greatest impact in their roles while taking personal responsibility to inform their managers and align with their team members for effective collaboration. So we really wanted Novartis that everyone feels able to bring their best selves to work and also be their best selves at home. And we're committed to supporting this as we can. So I think the organizational need to respond to the global pandemic has just increased our agility and speed to respond to these needs. And we see much more flexibility around the world. And I think these new working models are here to stay. And they optimize not only the personal performance, but also the performance of the organization. So I'm really fascinated by this field. And I think we have seen much progress in the recent months. And we need to learn more of how could we be even more effective moving forward. I have experiments all around the world to learn what works, what doesn't, and then scale those things that work to other people in the organization.
So let's now transition a little bit more to you and put you a little bit more at the focus. I actually know that you consider yourself an entrepreneur, but we just learned that you obviously work at Novartis. So how does that work with an executive position at a big company like Novartis?
Well, I think the world is changing rapidly around us. Jack Welch once said, if the change on the outside exceeds the rate of change in the inside, the end is near. So I think at Novartis, we believe curiosity drives discovery. We know curiosity solves problems. And we're convinced that curiosity powers innovation. So it's all about curiosity to learn, and Novartis inspires the best learning and development opportunities to instill this curiosity. So I think personally, on my end, I think organizations need more entrepreneurs and more entrepreneurial behaviors to innovate new products and solutions. And there's a lot of need for new products and solutions out there. And I experience Novartis as generally embracing these entrepreneurial behaviors and hiring a number of INBA alumni recently, some straight out of their MBA program, and some others who are MBA graduates with a few more of experience after their graduation. So to me personally, Novartis has offered and continues to offer the best environment to test and scale new ideas, and gives me an opportunity to learn and grow as leaders by interacting with a lot of people in this organization.
So let's now move a little bit to your MBA experience at IE Business School. Could you share maybe a part of your current philosophy or your professional outlook that is a manifestation of something that you learned during your time in the International MBA? What is it, and how has it played a role in your career?
Thanks for this question, Martin. So I think experiencing the power of diversity of thinking at IE has left a profound impact on me. I was always fascinated spending time inside and outside of the classroom with my fellow students, especially with 42 people from my section. From, I think, 28 different nationalities, different academic backgrounds, different work experience in industries, company archetypes, and the like. For example, I recall we had in my team an American psychologist, a Russian economist, a Spanish airspace engineer, a Brazilian lawyer, and I think even a Chilean business graduate, just to mention a few. So I think all these different backgrounds and thought processes bring very unique perspectives to the work in our team and tackle problems for optimal results. And I think this is what I loved the most at IE. It was not only fun interacting with these diverse people, but it also produced better results. And so as a people leader, I try to replicate this in my small team, and also as an HR professional in the company. I have experienced IE Business School with the I and E standing for innovation and entrepreneurship, underpinned by diversity of thought and an inclusive environment. Honestly, I can't thank IE and you, Martin, enough for the great experience that I had in my life in an early stage of career in Madrid, as this has paved the way for me. And I couldn't have imagined a better life after that. So big thanks to you, Martin, for what you do for IE students and also the lasting impact it creates for alumni and society. So thank you very much.
Well, Markus, thank you. Thank you, obviously, for your openness and for sharing your insights and thoughts with all of us. Thank you so much, and see you soon.
It was a great pleasure. Thank you, Martin.